Alright, let's talk Gears of War. Gears of War 1 to 3, amazing games. Amazing trilogy. Gears of War 4 and 5 are lacking massively. And I'm not going to harp on it too much because I know every single person has seen at least one video ragging on the quality of Gears of War 4 and 5 after the Coalition took over. But, you know, you got to make your peace with it. And you have to admit, they do have good parts. The only thing they perfected it with Gears 4, though, is Old Man Marcus. Old Man Marcus is actually an improvement on original Marcus, I would say, in terms of design, not in terms of character. In terms of design, I love, like, the leather on his armor. I love the stock he put on the Lancer, like the wooden accents on his Lancer. That's so good. But otherwise, Gears of War 4, massively lacking. And Gears of War 5, it's fun to play with your friends, I will say that. It does get very boring in places, and the story is so unoriginal. It is very much like, oh, do you remember that from this game? Oh, do you remember that from this game? Oh, look at the cog are bad. Oh, that's not so good. It is so boring. But still better than Gears of War 4. Gears of War 3 is the worst of the Gears original trilogy. I think the story on it is very bland. I can't stand the Lambent. And other than the Dom scene, there isn't really anything that's too, like, oh, I must play that game again about it. It's all very just standard Gears of War. Like, you run somewhere, you shoot something, press a button, run somewhere, shoot something, which is fine in a normal Gears of War game, but because it's the end of the trilogy, I wanted something a bit more. That's why the DLC they did with Baird and Paddock was so good, because it was actually something. Like, you got to do the boat bit and just move the story forward. That one, like, it was too slow paced for me. Where Gears of War 1 and 2 is just moving. You're always going somewhere. You're always getting through something. And they're damn near perfect games. Gears of War 2, much better than Gears of War 1. I think Gears of War 2 will be up there, one of the games of all time. It is so good. I love the emotion in that game and everything about it. Like, it might not be the most flashy in the world, especially now, but playing it with, like, my dad and with my friends and that, perfect game. So good. Gears of War 1, very good. So good. It's a solid start to the franchise, and honestly, it hits everything it needs to. Like, just the horror and the visuals, and introducing the Lancer to the gaming industry. It was so good. I loved everything about Gears of War 1. I will play it every single time it gets released, which is like, 3 times now? Because it's just a perfect game. Like, that Berserker scene alone, like, you don't need to see it. Like, you just see the shadows of the Berserker tearing apart that random gear is so good to me. I just love it. I love everything about the first one. In terms of ranking them, putting on a scale from worst to best, I would have to put it as, going from worst would be Gears of War 4, then 3, then 5, then 1, and then 2. I much more prefer Gears of War 2 to Gears of War 1. Gears of War 2 was such more of a fun playthrough for me because it introduced Dizzy, Ty, and just the Hollow was so good. Like, just the environment, I loved working with it. Gears of War 3 is such a slog to get through. The story wasn't up to par, I don't think. But I preferred it. But Gears of War 5 is better than that, because Gears of War 5 was fun to play with your friends. Like, it might have had nothing in there in terms of, like, characters or story, but it was very fun. I had a great time playing that one with me and my friend. But it could just be recency bias. So, ask me again in like a month. Answer might change. And then Gears of War 4, by far the worst. We couldn't even get through that one. We couldn't even finish it. It was so awful. Like, once you get past the Marcus, like, arriving scene, god damn, that just, it falls off a cliff. It's so bad. It was, there was no drive to want to play more. There was nothing to like, get us to the finish line. In terms of characters, Gears of War 1 to 3, Delta Squad, OGs, you can't go wrong. You got your Cole, Baird, Dom, Marcus, any of the Carmines, to an extent, Dizzy and Coleman was like they're not Delta Squad, but they're also characters. Perfect writing, amazing. And then you get 4 and 5, and you get Del, JD, Kate. Disgusting. They are the worst characters. I can't stand it about in Gears of War 4 where you finish a confrontation with the Swarm and they've all got something like snippy to say. Some sarcastic comment of being like, well, that was difficult. And it's like, oh, I loathe that with my dying breath. Alright, let's do multiplayers because the multiplayers of Gears are always a very sore subject because I'm not very good at them. So I usually only play Horde on every game I can. So that's 3 and then the rest. Horde was an amazing feature with Gears of War 3, and I'm so glad that it's stuck around. I'm hoping, well, I know there's the new Horde and Gears of War ED, but I'm hoping there's still a classic like 4-man squad version of it. But I loved all the Hordes, especially Gears 4. Gears 4 Horde is perfect Horde for me because I loved just sitting on that turret the entire time. Like you work at the beginning to beef it up, and then you just sit there for all 50 waves and you just mulch everything basically. And it can be a little bit boring, but I don't know, just the feeling of it was so good. I think Gears 5 Horde might be the worst, honestly. I don't know what's so bad about it because it isn't definitely bad. It's good, but it's just doesn't give me the same feeling the rest of them do. It's not as good to me in my mind. Skip to the end of the video. Well, that's the end of this one. I'm sure there'll be more. Take a look at my channel. There could be other stuff you find interesting already on there. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.